Well, we're back at Hardline Customs, and we're here with Jerry. And Jerry's working on something. What you working on, buddy?
Oh, that damn block-off plate we made like a year ago, it seems like.
It actually might have, well...
Was it a year ago?
No, not quite a year ago.
Probably close.
Probably
close to a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
So we did it with a mock-up unit without the fittings in it.
Right.
And I went to put it on with the fittings in, and of course, you know, it doesn't work.
Yeah, well, you guys know. Hot rods never go as planned. And that's the beauty of building hot. It's not really the beauty. It's actually is probably the headache of building hot rods.
It depends on what kind of person you are.
Yeah, Jerry, he seems pretty calm right now, but I'm sure when he took it off and examined it, he was like, he said some choice words, I'm sure. Because he wasn't feeling good either when he was doing it.
Yeah, there was some F-bombs in there and stuff like that.
Things we can't say on YouTube. So I'm glad he got it out of his system already. Yeah. But while he's working on that, I'm gonna show you guys what he got done in the meantime that is gonna segue into the cage being put in, along with sheet metaling the back of the car, the back of the inside of the car from the trunk to where the back seat was. We're actually deleting the back seat because, well, I'm putting a B-pillar cage in it, and I really don't think I'm ever gonna have anybody sitting in the back seat. Nobody's gonna wanna.
That's why you bought an Escalade.
Right, that's why I bought an Escalade. It seats 7 people comfortably. This is to handle 2 people semi-comfortably, and you know, it'd be rowdy. So, anyways, here we go. Completely gutted. No seats. The floors are back to being level again. So what happened was, okay, this is what pissed me off. This is one of the things that really pissed me off. When
you have a theory and I have a theory.
He has
I think I'm right and you're wrong.
Okay, well, we'll get to the theory section in a minute. Right. When the car got stolen, obviously when we got the car back, we noticed that the floorboard behind where the front seats were, so right here, where your foot would go if you sat in the back seat, on both sides was raised up, like it had a hump in it. And I was trying to figure out, like, how the heck did that happen? You know what I'm saying? And you know, we don't know how the thieves stole the car. We don't know if they yanked it. We're pretty certain that they never started the car. We pulled logs and we think that they never started the car in the time frame they had it. So we were like, what caused the floors to be pushed up? Well, I didn't really have a theory per se. I was just under the impression that when insurance auction lots or, you know, tow yards get a vehicle that doesn't run or they don't know if it runs, they move it around with a forklift. And, you know, it didn't make much sense in the sense of like, okay, if they used a forklift, then why wasn't other stuff under the car damaged? Because there isn't anything underneath the car else is damaged. Not really. It's just the rear end's not damaged. The exhaust wasn't really damaged. So we're like, how did they just push up the floors like that? So I was under the impression that it was just the people moving around with a forklift and somehow they just push up the floors. Now, what's your theory?
So when the car was parked the night that it was stolen, it was backed in.
Right.
I think they came in with a snatch truck, come up underneath it, and when they picked it up, it went up into the floorboard and come out. Because like you said, the exhaust wasn't hit. Well, I know the exhaust wasn't hit because I've been underneath it. There's absolutely no other damage underneath it except for a couple nicks and scrapes on the lower coilovers on the rear. So,
yeah. Wait, so if the car was backed in and they yanked it, they got the front. They would have to get the front wheels.
Back up because the back wheels were in park.
But the back was up against the curb, so how would they have done that? It was backed in, and there was cars on either side of us.
Yeah, well, they come underneath the front.
Okay.
And then, so the back's off the ground, they pull forward to get it out, then pop all the locks, get it popped into neutral, and get it out of there.
Okay. I don't know. Does that make sense to y'all? I don't know. We don't know. But it's a ghost story,
yeah,
along with the coilover situation that we had in the garage a long time ago. That was weird.
Oh, how it dropped by
yeah,
itself?
Yeah.
That was pretty wild.
That was wild. So we will never know any of the specifics of how this thing happened, obviously, because we weren't there and we didn't witness it.
Well, we were there.
Well, we were there. We just didn't witness it. Yeah. I think it'll be one of those things that'll haunt me for the rest of my life. I mean, I'm over it now because I have the car back. But when the car got stolen, I mean, I lost sleep. I literally was up thinking about this all the time, and it pissed me off. You know, how they got it, what they did, yada, yada, yada. But anyways, that's over and done with now. I just wanted to kind of put that story out there. So the floors are fixed. There's no longer a back panel because he took the back seat out. And what he's gonna do is he's gonna make just a standard B-pillar hoop that's gonna run from the floor up along the ceiling, back down, and then he's gonna run a harness bar for the harnesses to attach to, and then he's gonna run what he calls kickers through the back panel down to the floor of the trunk for stabilization. And then that's about it. And then he's gonna do a bracket for the little fun for the
bar for your shoulder belts.
yeah, the harness bar for the shoulder belts, and he's gonna do another bracket to go behind the shifter for the fun lever. Yeah. You guys probably gonna pick up on what I'm talking about, and yeah, the hoon handle. You know what it means. It may or may not be a good thing that we're doing that because I don't have much experience with it. We're gonna figure it out. I'm gonna find the biggest open lot with no obstructions to work on it because the last thing I want to do is the first time I get in it and try it and smack a curb or a pole or a tree, and then I would just be devastated and I would look like a retard. So we're gonna figure that out, and hopefully in about a week this thing's loaded up on a trailer headed out to California to get the interior done, and once that's done, should be good to go. And
you gotta tell them we got that new column.
Oh yeah. So thanks to my buddy Brian, Classic G Body Garage. He hooked me up with a new steering column. That's another thing. I cannot wait till we fix that. Oh man. He hooked me up with another factory G Body column. He painted it for me. Got me new, turn signal stock, high beams. Everything works. It's a tilt column. Came with new key, everything. So I appreciate you, Brian, because the jerks that stole my car, they busted the old column. Key didn't work. Turn signal stopped working, yada, yada, yada. So now that I'm back and safe with that. For anybody that's wondering, yes, the car will have security. The car will have, it will have GPS. I'm not going about, being naive anymore with how I own this car and any car in general. And yeah, we learned from our mistake, and we're gonna move forward. So just wanted to give you guys a little update on what we had going on. Yeah, I'll let you guys know. Probably get back with you guys when the car leaves to go to California. We'll have everything in the car. Or
there'll be big changes tomorrow.
There'll be big changes even tomorrow, and I'll be here tomorrow. So we'll come back tomorrow and show you guys that. So all right, peace. Shop dogs. What's up? So that's Mac, and if you guessed, that's Roni. Macaroni, how about that? Pretty clever, right? All right. Hey, Nicole.
Hi.
All right. Okay, so we're going back in the back. Today's been very eventful, and we'll tell you why here in a second. Let me wipe the lens off. Today's been very eventful in kind of a good way, and it worked out in a good way. Initially, it wasn't a good way, and we'll tell you why. First, we got to get Jerry to turn off the music, so. Okay, he paused the music. No more copyright. Okay, so explain to the people why today was so eventful. I was just sitting there eating some really, really nice Italian food in Buckhead.
Right there.
And he calls me up and he's like, hey, what you doing? Like super casual like he always is. I'm like, I'm just eating lunch, man. He's like, well, you might have to get up here. I'm like, well, what's up? And he's like, your car caught on fire. And I'm like, bruh. He's like, we're good though. And I'm like, okay. Like, that's cool. And he's like, no, it's not. I'm like, yeah, it's not. So,
he needed a new fuel line.
Yeah, we, so that's not what you think it may be. It's not that. It's definitely from a fire extinguisher. So we're not partying like that over here. Yeah. He might have been, I don't know.
Nah.
But
it'd be gone.
Yeah. So this is what he's been working on. We removed the back seat and
we're getting 312s.
Yeah, putting 312s in this joint. It's gonna be slapping.
Yeah.
So, but in order to make it work and not flex, one of our guys, our audio guys, told us he had to make these. What are they called? Gussets.
Gussets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to make these gussets.
Yeah, so I made the gussets, and then I called you, and I'm like, hey, you know, I got some extra room. Do you want something in it?
Yeah.
So we did not the logo, but just abbreviation.
Abbreviation.
So, AMHD.
So we've got officially some American Muscle HD like
Logo.
insignia on the car somewhere. It's obviously not in the most prominent area, but it'll be displayed in the trunk. So there you go.
Yeah.
American Muscle HD. How about that? So if you guys live in the Atlanta area or wherever, honestly, well, it'd make more sense if you're in the Atlanta area.
Yeah.
And you need parts cut, he has a full working and running plasma table, and he will cut whatever you need him to. He runs a software, based program that will make anything. If you send him a file, he can cut it right there. He can make you whatever, and he just made that on the spot. So in the process of welding these in, what happened?
There was an error on 2 parts.
Okay.
My part, I didn't check what was underneath the floor. Another part, there were fuel lines underneath the floor.
Yeah.
So when I was actually burning the first gusset in, it went through and hit the damn fuel line, man. Dude, it was tough. It was tough.
Yeah.
And it was, I've set some stuff on fire. But that was a fire.
Yeah.
Like,
I wish we may dub in that clip, Lord Jesus is a fire. I don't know, but yeah.
I mean, like, that's the biggest fire I've ever had doing anything on cars.
Yeah.
And if you're a welder, you'll know, like, you look through your mask, you see a big ball of flame come up, sucks in behind your hood, singes your hair. Like, I always wear a stocking hat, so of course I don't have any hair anyway. So, but it didn't get in my hair. Rolled out of the back of the car, which was up on jack stands. I was using logs to jump in and out. Rolled my ankle, yelling at my wife, which luckily she was here. She came out, handed me a fire extinguisher, and as I was still laying on the floor broken, I nudged my way underneath it and put the rest of the fire out.
Yeah. So. Well, when I got here, he's like, so yeah, there was a fire, and I'm like, where? He's like, in the trunk. And I'm like, I don't see
it was a gas fire. I mean,
I don't see anything. So I don't know. The majority of the damage might be underneath the car. But I don't think that there's really that much damage. Thankfully,
the car's okay.
Yeah, the car's fine.
Yeah.
The biggest headache obviously was that it singed the fuel line, which then we had to then replace. So I had to go buy a new fuel line, and Jerry installed it. But it works. Car runs. We obviously moved it out of its spot, and it runs. It's just not pissing fuel everywhere, so that's good. The fuel pressure's good. But yeah, so that was the excitement for the day.
Yeah, excitement. Well, the next exciting thing.
Okay.
The next
exciting thing. This is the thing that we've been kind of hinting at this whole time. It's the one thing that was just like one of the most spur of the moment, impromptu, completely unnecessary. I mean, everything about this car is unnecessary.
Right. Well,
but
here, let me take my hat off.
I did, literally, I called my guy up at Willwood and was just like, hey, I want to get a hydraulic handbrake for this car. And when he told me the price, which I had a completely different price in my mind. I thought it was gonna be way more expensive than that, and once he told me, I was gonna be like, yeah, never mind, I'll wait. When he told me the price, I was like, you know what? Screw it, whatever, let's do it. Because it was just too good to be true with the price. So now we have a freaking hydraulic handbrake set up in the car. By far the coolest thing.
Yeah.
It's the coolest thing.
Yeah.
I may use it like 4 times the whole time I own this car, but or I may never use it. But it's one of those things where I just couldn't pass up the price, and it's just a cool factor to have it in the car.
Yeah.
So
honestly, I've never put one in ever, so it was fun for me too.
Yeah, there you go. We all learned something. We all having fun. I think it looks pretty good. I sat in the seat. Actually, did I? I don't think I sat in the seat and actually tried it yet. You wanna?
Sure.
Right, yeah. So the seat's not bolted in right now.
Yeah, we're
having some kind of like Fat Joe lean back type stuff going on. You gotta lean forward, otherwise you'll fall back in the seat. So about roughly this is how it would sit. I'd have the seat probably a little far higher up. You got the shifter right here. I like that.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. And you can drop it, so you're going to be in low,
Yeah.
I would assume. Now pull. Clear.
Yeah. And then you bump that thing up, man. I can still drag race and not and get in my way. So that's first, second, third, fourth, and that's completely out of the way.
Yeah, I know.
I like that. Coming near you. Who's near you?
You know, I was born at night, but it wasn't last night, so.
That should be a t-shirt.
Well, you know, it's everybody's t-shirt. We also did some of the block off. So I kind of had to redo the block off plate, which you guys heard about. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, well, the left half, passenger half, I had to redo. So I got the heat hooked up, which is actually functioning now.
Let's show them, get up closer, show them.
Yeah.
So you got it running on the side. You need a light. Hold on. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so he's got it running on the side right here.
It's
he's got
tight.
It's
tight.
It looks good, you know. And we had the car running. We had to get new antifreeze in it, and you know,
all that stuff.
It was running through the heat. Oh yeah.
So yeah, I got the AC lines hanging.
Yeah, that's gonna go.
The high and lows.
Like I still feel a little heat out of these coming out of the.
You know, we have to do a little rerouting, but nothing.
Yeah, like we could probably clip these down a little bit and make them a little shorter so they're not, because we're gonna probably, when it goes to interior, we're probably gonna move these in the trunk.
One of them's gonna get a actual diverter in it, so for the vintage air.
Oh, okay.
So we can knock some length out of it on that.
We're gonna just deal with that when it gets back.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, it's after today. I want to get the stuff welded in.
Yeah.
And
so we just gonna take these off.
No, we'll leave them. They're on. They're on.
Oh, so how are we gonna do it? How are we gonna leave them in the engine bay?
Huh? Well, I'll just cap them off and coil them up.
Oh, okay. That works.
Yeah. I mean,
we'll make it happen.
Yeah, you know, after today and the episode and being sick and all that good stuff, we're gonna roll with it.
Yeah.
Is that how they say it down here?
I guess. I don't know.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Southern folks, just we're gonna roll with it. Anyways, I can't thank Jerry enough. He's been doing a lot of work on top of going to his day job this week. You know, banging this out. You know, like I said in probably the last video we did. You know, we got tied up a little bit with time with the acquisition of this building, which kind of pushed us back and whatnot. And thankfully, it all worked out with our shipper too. You know, we thought it was going to leave on Wednesday, which would have never worked. Like half the stuff would have.
It would have worked.
Yeah.
But I'd have been mad.
Yeah. So when I called him and told him that guy wasn't going to be able to make it, and he's like, all right, word. And I told him probably Friday or Saturday. He was like, sweet. So then we called and talked to the guy, and he's like, yeah, I live local. I can come get it. It was supposed to be this morning. And then he was like, yeah, well, I'm not actually leaving until tomorrow morning. So we can come get it then. And Jerry's like, heck yeah. So it worked out. So he'll be here tomorrow at 10 a.m. And then it's
gone
off to California, and I will go back to I will go to California sometime, maybe the end of March, early April, to get like an update video of what they have done so far.
I farted over here.
Okay, I'm gonna walk around to the side, and then we'll have the video when it debuts in Vegas for LS Fest West. So this is what we got going so far, and. Yeah. Anything else?
Hopes and dreams and burnouts.
Hopes and dreams and burnouts. We're just coming up with t-shirt designs all like this whole time. We're gonna we gotta write these down. All right, guys. Catch you on a little bit.